as we continue with lies, myths, and downright stupidity. Next.
Now, we're at myth number 3. Guns are bad, evil, and of course we need more gun control. Well, guns do cause terrible harm.
We have 15 fatalities.
America is notorious for its culture of gun violence.
One more addition to the litany of gun tragedy.
Not to mention all the gun accidents. We know many kill kids.
Whoa.
The PSAs and news stories make it seem as if the accidents kill thousands of kids every year.
Bang, 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 bang.
But the Centers for Disease Control says the real number for kids this age is fewer than 50. That's still terrible. I understand why these demonstrators say we need more gun laws.
We want sensible gun control legislation. We are the voice of the majority of Americans. It is time we were heard.
And the media seem to want gun control.
Why is it so hard for Congress to pass a gun control bill?
But guess what? The Centers for Disease Control recently completed a review of studies of various types of gun control. Waiting periods, registration and licensing, and bans on certain firearms. It could not document that these rules have reduced violent crime. How can this be? Signing the Brady Bill into law didn't help?
Don't tell me this bill will not make a difference. That is not true.
Sorry, the government can't say it has made a difference. One reason is that the bad guys tend to ignore gun laws.
When I had a gun, I didn't care what laws they had.
I'm not worried about the government saying that I can't carry a gun. I'm going to carry a gun anyway.
These maximum security felons in New Jersey scoff at measures like the Brady Law.
I'm not going in the store to buy no gun, so I could care less if they had a background check or not.
I bought it from the street, from a source. There's guns everywhere. If you got money, you can get a gun.
A study funded by the Department of Justice confirmed what these prisoners said. Most criminals buy their guns illegally and easily. And get this, the study said the felons say the thing they fear most is not the police, not time in prison, but you, another American who might be armed.
And when you go to rob somebody you don't know, it makes it harder because you don't know what to expect out of them.
It's a reason many states are passing gun uncontrol. They're allowing citizens to carry guns with them. It's called concealed carry or right to carry. And it comforts women like Laura Jones.
It's a safety thing. I feel better knowing I have a way to protect myself.
But many people are horrified at the idea of right to carry laws.
That is frightening. Can you imagine just walking up and down the street knowing that 90% of the people you pass has a deadly weapon and you could be their next target? I think that we'd be living in a state of terror.
But, surprise, 36 states already have right to carry laws. And people in these states are not living in terror. We called state safety officials in all these states, and not one reported an upsurge in crime. Why? Well, maybe because guns are used twice or 3 times as often for defensive uses as they are to commit crimes. That's what happened at this car dealership. The owner had a gun, so when these 2 armed men came in to rob him, he shot it, and they ran. Studies on defensive use of guns find this kind of thing happens at least 700,000 times a year.
I just reacted. It was a life or death thing, and I think you react.
Armed men broke into Susan Gonzalez's house and shot her. She grabbed her husband's gun and started firing.
I figured if I could shoot one of them, even if we both died, someone would know who had been in my home.
She killed one of the intruders. The other ran away.
I don't necessarily like guns still, but I carry one because I know now what can happen and why you do need a gun.
So that's our top 10 list. If you want to add your own or read more about ours, you can go to my webpage at abcnews.com. And there are lots more lies, myths, and plenty of stupidity in my new book, Give Me a Break. There's an excerpt of that at abcnews.com as well. That's our program for tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm John Stossel. Barbara Walters will be back next week for our regular edition of 2020. Good night.
For the latest video highlights, log on to America Online, keyword ABC News.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.